Hello, this is Jesus Hits. I'm back once again with another beat video. Once again, we did it on the machine. There's a few different parts I'm going to go over, how I made the beat, how I pretty much sequenced it, and some of the parts, some of the drum loops, some of the instrumentation, and also some of the plugins that were used to make this. So if you do have any questions, definitely ask me at the end of the video. I'm always glad to help. We always want to do music. Pretty much, if you're a producer, we always help each other. We're a tight-knit community. And definitely, if you're an artist looking for music, I'm always here. So let's get right into it. Thank you very much, and let's get started. So the first thing I want to get into is the kick, the snare. Pretty much with this one, I started off with an 808, and I also once again layered another kick with it. So because sometimes the 808 is a little bit too low, and you need like a higher pitch kick to give it a little punch. So let's go into the first part, the 808, and it goes something like this. So that's pretty much how the first part went with the 808. Then we went into the pretty much, I had a snare and a clap together. So when we went to both of those, what basically happened is it just came in like and those two pretty much laid together. One of them was a little bit more dry. The other one actually had a little bit more reverb on it. So we definitely wanted to have both of those to layer each other and to come out and make one great snare half clap. So once again, like I told you, over the 808, I layered a kick that had a little bit more punch to it. Like I said, sometimes 808s and like bass lines can get too muddy, so you need something that has a higher frequency to bring out both at the same time. It gives a little contrast. So the kick went like so the kick actually went with the 808, and those blended out together to give a good sound and a good punch. Then I had a open hat, going across the verse. Then of course I had my hi-hat, and I used note repeat. Sometimes you do want to tap it out, sometimes you don't. It all depends on the mood. So with the hi-hat, it sort of had a trap feel, so it played like that played across there. And now we want to go ahead and go into some of the other instrumentation, some of the other instruments I played, and how things worked out. So let's skip on to the next step. So as we discussed, pretty much I went into certain things to play. In this particular time, I played a piano, high keys and low keys on this beat, and pretty much the piano sequence went like so that's how pretty much the first part of the piano went, and then on another part I changed it up and I pretty much speeded up the tempo a little bit with the piano. So it went like so between those parts of the beat, I interchanged them in different parts to get a different tempo and get a different feel. But they all blend in well, and now we'll pretty much go into the low keys and how they played along with this and the other instruments. So as we discussed, pretty much this is the second part of the keys. The low keys played along with the high keys, so I did two parts of that as well. So the first part of the low keys played like And then after that part played, like we did show before, we did like a switch up on the first keys. So we did a switch up on the low keys as well. So that came in like. So those are the two parts I did with the keys. We're going to go into some other things we played and get that started as well. The next part we're going to go into is, it's like a bell that I played over the chorus part. So pretty much it had a loop like. So that pretty much played over the part of the chorus, and then we had other parts that played, like I did have a few different effects I used on a few different things, and we're going to go into that, and then we're going to round it up with letting you listen to a preview of the beat. So for this part, as I told you a while ago, I used to always sample. That used to be my thing. Every track I made was sampled, and I tried to go more original over the past few years, but I still started to miss that sample feel and some of the emotions and things you can get out of records when you sample. So what I began to do is I began to make my beats where it sounds like a sample, but it's not actually from a sample. So I have different plugins that I'll use, but what I basically did is, in a part of this song, I have a pretty much plugin that emulates vocals. So now I played this into it, making you think it came from a record. So that part played in one part of the song, and part of the verses you'll hear something like. So those parts play throughout a song, and once it plays with the melody of the actual beat, you would think it came all from one place and then just got chopped up and the drums at it, and that was the feeling I was looking for. So now we're going to go into pretty much a rough copy of what the beat's going to sound like. I still got to go and put it in Pro Tools. I'm going to mix it down. I'm going to have different effects that I'm going to add because I just prefer mixing in Pro Tools. But we've been using the machine, and let's take out a preview of the beat and see how everything goes. So let's go ahead and listen to a rough copy of what the beat's going to sound like, pretty much up to the chorus, and we'll discuss the rest after that. So you'll notice that the hi-hat kind of has a thing where it slides down on its tone on purpose. And then you have the little drum roll. You hear that 808 knocking. You hear it a lot louder and a lot better because of the fact that we went ahead and used that kick. The parts of the sample we were talking about with the vocal run, where it's not a sample but it makes it sound like it. So it has a pretty dirty, dark feel to it, and that's what I was looking for this type of beat. So someone can kill this beat fast, they can kill it slow, they can go somewhere in between. You also hear where that bell came in on the chorus, the switch up of the piano, and everything pretty much changed over like that. Everything pretty much changed over like that. You heard the 808, how it blended with the hat, how it blended with the open hat. You got the two claps in the snare, which became together, a little bit of reverb to make it stand out. We had one kick to accentuate the 808 to make it punch, and then we had the pianos playing the low keys and high keys, as well as that bell sound that I use, as well as the two vocals that I use to make it sound like a sample but not from a sample. So that's pretty much what I did with this beat. Once again, I still have to go through a final mix of it when I insert it in Pro Tools, and we'll see how that comes out the sound. But I definitely thank you for watching. Definitely if you have any questions or anything that you want to know about, or information just you like the beat or didn't like the beat or didn't like the video at all, leave a comment. Like I said, I look at everything. So to all y'all producing music, keep on doing it. Do it for the love, not just for the money. Because, like I said, money comes and goes, but the passion that you have into what you love to do will last forever. Philosophy by me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Have a great day.
Jesus hits. Jesus.